How lucky is free to be free of ZB and his STDs.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the morning to everyone but Zach Bryan.
Welcome back. Yeah, this is a fuck Zach Bryan episode. Like, I'm going to make it real clear.
We're making it everyone's agenda this week.
Yeah, this is...
Like...
This man's going down.
Like, you know how there's on the Adelaide Metro...
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, the spot where the bus driver sits. Mm-hmm. And then, like, to the left of the bus driver is that one passenger seat where it's, like, by the window right next to the bus driver.
Yeah.
That is Zach Bryan's permanent position on the bus to the sun.
Oh, facts.
Like, he's alone. There's no one sitting next to him.
Facts.
He's
and
right by the door.
He's the only one that doesn't have a seatbelt as well.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Fuck this stupid man. Before we get into it though, our audio listeners, everyone appreciate the fact that we're eating Zupa Dupas.
Yep.
I'm eating a
They don't last long, so you're fine.
No, I'm eating a fairy floss Zupa Duper, which is obviously the supreme of all the flavors, and Danica's eating
Lime.
the most She's eating the Zach Bryan of Zupa Duper flavors.
Don't say that. don't ruin a good thing for me, okay?
Lime is disgusting. Wicked. I would be an Ariana Grande.
Period.
What's been going on? You've been sick.
I have been, guys, fighting for my goddamn life. Like, I can't even go into detail because it's that fucking foul, but it was not pretty.
Dude.
I wasn't able to eat for a very long time. I've been miserable. Oh no, my couch. I've been miserable, okay? That's probably how I got sick, actually. But, yeah. Anyway, we live to tell the tale, barely. Still can't really trust my asshole, but hey, who can at the best of times? You know what I mean?
You know what? Never trust a fart.
That's
what
it.
I say.
That's it. How have you been without me?
Depressed?
Lonely. I am so lonely.
Miserable. Like, I woke up yesterday, Saturday. And Saturday, like, we have a routine.
We have such a routine.
We get up, we go to Pilates. Sometimes we have dog school together. Then after Pilates, if we don't have dog school, we'll go get, like, coffee and acai down at Brighton.
Our routine is essentially just being attached at the hip.
Correct.
For the weekend, yeah.
Right? And I woke up on Saturday. The skies were grey. And I literally rang Mark and I was like, what the fuck am I meant to do today? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, usually me and Danica would do all this stuff and she's fucking grasping the toilet bowl. Like, what am I meant to do? And he was like, I don't know, do something. And so I made my parents come to Harbour Town with me for no reason.
Just to peruse.
Because that's how we get our cardio in. Every week we go and peruse the shops.
We trot around the shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was taken away from me. Yeah, I've been miserable. So I went to quiz night quiz night was fine. Like, would have been better with you there, but it was fine. I could do that.
I've watched a lot of Bob's Burgers. I really resonate with Jean.
Oh yeah, you do.
I think I'm very much Jean.
No, you are wholeheartedly Jean. Like, there's not a fucking doubt in my mind that you are Jean. And you want to know?
I haven't decided who you are.
Oh, no.
You give a bit of Louise, but you're not that. I mean, you're crazy, but you're not that crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, when you have like a vendetta against someone, you have a vendetta. So maybe you are Louise, actually.
I'm Louise with a dash of Tina.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the way that she's obsessed with, like, that one boy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a little bit of me. But for the most part, I'm a hateful person. Yeah. I love Bob's Burgers. I reckon Bob's Burgers and Rick and Morty would be my two favourite animated series of all time.
Tom is like the twins. Rudy and I can't remember.
Yeah.
But both of them, that's Tom.
Yeah.
That's the vibe Tom gives.
Sazi is 100% the mum.
Sazi is Linda.
Yeah.
Without
Sazi
a
is
doubt.
100%
Yeah.
Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark is the dad.
Mark is Bob for sure.
Miserable.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love Linda.
Your Jackie is I can't even remember her name. She's the blonde lady that works. She's a hairdresser and she's Linda's friend. And she's always just down to like go to restaurants and drink and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jackie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Who's Beck? Oh.
Who's the who would you pair as that guy that's always at the restaurant? And he's like like the Barney of the series.
Oh my God, what's his name? Hang on, I can't even.
He's so funny.
Like the struggler, but like that you just cannot get rid of.
Wait, I need to bring up the Bob's Burgers characters. Bob's Burgers.
It's Teddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, Teddy is so funny.
I don't think my life has a Teddy at the moment.
Oh, Teddy. Yeah, Gail. Mum's Gail.
No, your mum's what's her name?
Who's the other one?
Hang on. Bob's Burgers. Linda's friend, hairdresser. Gretchen. Yeah. Gretchen's the fucking sickest.
That's funny.
You know what? I reckon Beck's Speedo guy. He just like, roller skates up and down the pier. Just
Dr. Yap. Oh, fuck. That's so funny. Oh, my God. Who's Jimmy Pesto Sr.?
that's
I
I almost disclosed his nickname. That's he who must not be named. That's Travis Kelce. That's Travis Kelce.
To you.
Yeah.
You're Jimmy Pesto. If you were Bob, you're Jimmy Pesto.
No, actually, you know what? Travis Kelce is fucking Jimmy Pesto Senior.
Yeah.
Just a weasel across the road.
You just have so much beef with him for no reason. Fucking hell. And then I'm Tina and he's my Jimmy Pesto Jr.
Yeah, maybe maybe Travis Kelce's Teddy. No, he's Jimmy Pesto Senior. No, for
That's
sure.
so funny. I almost feel like Tom gives a little bit of Teddy.
No, yeah, because Teddy's kind of like, you want to do something? We'll do it. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, he's
like,
always there.
What are we doing?
Like,
What's going on? Yeah.
He's always there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, so relatable. Anyway, you're welcome.
Do you know? And Gail is Michaela. This will make sense to no one but us.
Yeah, unless you've watched Bob's Burgers.
I know everyone in our life personally. It makes sense to no one.
Ollie and Andy, that's what I'm thinking of, the twins.
That's funny. Fucking hell. Oh, shit. That's funny. Okay. What else has been happening? Coco's full licking the mic, bro. Nothing else has been happening. Oh, my God. No, there has been... I was going to give away all my reading stuff, but let's dive into this pop culture stuff first.
Yeah.
This is the meat of today's episode.
Yeah. Let's go.
So, if you've been listening to us for a hot minute and or you've been chronically online, you would be up to date on the Zach Bryan, Brianna Chicken Fry drama. So, where we last left it was they'd split up.
Yep.
And, like, we knew that she was going to come out and say her piece because she'd, like, posted that video from her fucking bathroom floor saying that she was, like, when the time was right, she'd say her piece. Sometime this week, BFF's pod, which she's on, with Dave Portnoy and Josh Richards as part of like Barstool Sports, they released a diss track called Smallest Man. Now, I didn't see this coming.
No, it came out of nowhere.
And when I watched it, my jaw was on the floor because this might be some of the greatest lyricism.
Credit where it's due. It's a really smart song.
Dude, it
slaps. The video clip is so fucking funny.
It's so good. I almost considered like playing a snippet of it on the pod, but then like they've had real issues with it getting taken down because Zach's label is like Warner Brothers Music or whatever. And he's trying to get it taken down anyway. But then they realized that Josh Richards randomly is signed to Warner Brothers Music. So he signed for like 4 songs. So they were claiming it as theirs because he signed. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
Right.
So I don't want us to get like striked or anything. But the film clip was like Josh and Dave were cops and then someone was playing Bryan. And it was all like a piss take of when he got arrested. And that it kind of like went viral. Anyway, the song, holy shit. So there's been all these rumors during their relationship. A lot of it's like come from the Reddit snark thread for Brianna Chicken Fry. Things like that he was giving multiple women STDs. And we kind of went through this in last week's episode. So if you want the full detail, go listen to last week's. But like the STD rumors,
Listen to the catalogue.
Yeah, there was rumors that he bailed. He was meant to perform with Noah Khan at Noah Khan's Fenway show. And Bryan bailed last minute. And there was rumors that he was too drunk to go and perform. And then like Bree and Zach deny. Anyway, the song confirms that he was too drunk to perform at Fenway. Confirmed that he was the reason, well, at least one of the reasons why Bree and Grace have had friendship troubles. It even alluded to the fact that his band hates him, right? Like this song, they did not hold back. And some of my favorite lyrics, I rewatched it before we recorded because I wanted to get like my favorite lines. My first one is, "You're great at being country without the second syllable." That's art. "I'm about to turn this place into an Oklahoma smoke show." Zach gonna make you burn, 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 as in like the STDs. And then there's something in the orange and it's you behind these bars.
Screaming.
That is so iconic. It's actually a good song.
It is. It goes hard. Honestly.
They nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
When I watched it.
I love that they made a diss track. That's so fucking funny.
Right? Like Dave's almost 50 and he's like fuck you.
This makes me say not all men, you know what I mean? Like
Dave has his
he's a bit how you going, but just
like he's a Trump supporter, but
in this
isolated incident.
Yeah, not all men. Yeah.
This is a good example of writing for your friends.
Yeah, period.
This is iconic, right? And what was I going to say? Oh, when I watched this reminded me of like the YouTube days of Jake, Logan Paul, Alyssa Violet, and then all the diss tracks came out.
Yeah.
And so you had Jake Paul's It's Everyday Bro. I knew that shit like the back of my head. Like, it's everyday bro with that Disney Channel flow. 5 mil on YouTube in 6 months. Never done before. Anyway. No, I was right up.
I broke the fourth wall there for a good fucking reason. What the fuck was that?
This might be a good time to have a really serious confession.
That you had a Jake Paul phase? You did.
Disclaimer.
You are no better than a man.
No, I'm not. The only time that
Why?
Okay, so.
Why?
This was around, I would say 2016, 2017, because I vividly remember.
Did I know you? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
That period, I know the time specifically
Dark
because.
days, Harry. Dark days.
When I was in Europe.
Fuck.
Me and Lauren were watching like their videos. Like this was like, it wasn't just them. Like I loved the YouTuber era. So it was like Jake Paul. It was Alyssa Violet. Tana Mojo was always in there. Like Trisha Paytas. Logan Paul I didn't watch that much of. But then
Which
there
one's
was
which?
like. Logan's the one that filmed the dead body in the forest in Japan.
Jake's the boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
Then you had like Colby and Sam. I was more into like the Colby and Sam and then like the Brennans, that kind of side of it. But there was a period where when Jake Paul was doing his like daily vlogs, he was dating a girl named Erica Costello, right? So Erica started out as his like assistant, lived in the house, whatever, and then they started dating. And I loved Erica. She was so cool.
What happened to Erica?
They split up, and then it was not to the same extent as Bryan, Zach Bryan, but it was very much a like Jake treated her like shit kind of thing.
What's she doing now?
She's still a YouTuber, does her own thing, and then she's doing her own thing, but she's also a model. Like she's got a boyfriend, like long-term boyfriend. Like she's thriving, right?
Good for her.
Yeah, I loved their ship name was Jerica, and I loved Jerica so much. I even have one of Erica's like early like merch hoodies.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like
damn.
Love.
Shit. All right.
Anyway, I don't know why we got here. Oh. Yeah, and then that was
tracks.
that was the era where like Jake Paul came out with like it's everyday bro. And then Logan came out with one.
Why did Jake come out with one? Who was that for?
It was just a song, like Jake Paul, Everyday Bro. Let me get the lyrics up. It was with Team 10. So, like,
who?
He had, like, a content house, right?
Oh.
And it had, like, Tessa Brooks in it and all these other people. Anyway, this is, like, these are some of the lyrics, right? It's everyday, bro, with the Disney Channel flow. 5 mil on YouTube in 6 months. Never done before. Past all the competition, man. PewDiePie is next. Man, I'm popping all these checks. Got a brand new Rolex. Anyway.
God.
Love that. Then Logan Paul came out with a song called The Fall of Jake Paul. Keep in mind they're brothers. This was so fucking funny. Anyway, some of the lyrics were... So, little brother Jakey trying to roast me, what? Little brother standing on his own 2 feet, not for long. And then he had, so Jake Paul, one of his early girlfriends, Alyssa Violet, they like had a terrible breakup. Alyssa Violet featured in Logan Paul's diss track, and it was, anyway, that was fucking monumental back then. And then Alyssa Violet came out with one. It was
okay, back to Zach Bryan. We're going to loop it back around, chuck a U-turn, go around the block.
So, yeah, they released this thing, Smallest, like this diss track, Smallest Man. It's currently not up anywhere besides, like, some people have managed to re-upload it on their own channels kind of thing. But I get the feeling that they're trying to work around it. I think what they're trying to do, given that Josh Richards' deal with Warner Brothers is that they own him for 4 songs. So he released one song a couple of years ago through them.
Yeah.
Then they've claimed this song, right? So I think they're going to release it. They're taking the approach of releasing like the Smallest Man, Dave's version, Smallest Man.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Bree's version. And then the next one they'll be able to do themselves kind of thing. So then that happened, and then they started releasing the trailers for the BFFs episode that came out on Friday our time. And this is after they were meant to have an episode like last week or the week before, but then it got cancelled. And so there's been all this hype because everyone knows like this is what they're going to talk about.
Yeah, so BFFs is the podcast that's with Bree and then Dave and Josh, so the 2 guys that made the diss track. So they've had this podcast for ages. And yeah, it was pretty much just like a fucking tell-all, really. Or like tell what you want to tell.
It started out with a video of Brianna that she'd filmed prior on her own, detailing some parts of the relationship. And it was more just like an update from her on where it's at, like what she's comfortable talking about. She mentioned but didn't go into detail about some of the emotional abuse. She made mention that she'd been offered a shit ton of money and to sign an NDA, but she didn't go into detail. And then it wasn't until like you cut to the actual episode with Josh and Dave where she really started to give more information. And this is only the icing on the cake.
Oh yeah,
Like there is
tip
so
of
much.
the iceberg shit.
Yeah, like there is so much that she hasn't shared with everyone. So the first like crazy,
The biggest.
the biggest thing was when Dave actually revealed that Zach Bryan's team had offered Brie $12 million and a New York apartment in exchange for her silence about the relationship.
No, we're just gonna let that sink in for a minute. $12 million dues.
The deal was she would get it paid out to her over the course of 3 years, but she could never talk about the relationship.
Yeah.
Ever. Would you take $12 million?
Fuck yeah, to shut the fuck up, absolutely.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like,
I could do that. Would like that amount of like, okay, that's coming from like me and probably like all of his other exes, because then it was like, okay, obviously this is a cycle with him and how he gets the content for his music.
yeah.
He gets into a relationship, he treats women like shit. To get them to not say their part and not have their piece, he pays them off, they sign an NDA, and then he gets a record-making album out of it.
So he would make so much more than $12 million. Like $12 million is a fucking drop in the ocean of what he would make off of the album he's going to write.
And that, I think me being like, yes, I would absolutely take the money, is because that amount of money to me would be like a life-changing amount of money. Not just to me, but like to like everyone that I know.
Yeah.
Whereas like for Brie, it's like, well, she's already kind of, she's not I don't know how much she makes, but she's already making a decent amount of money. You know what I mean? Like she is already set up for herself. So like, I feel like she comes from a point, and like this is why I appreciate that she didn't take the money, because she was very much like, look, I could have just taken the money and just not said my piece, but I am coming from a place where I have that support and I have that financial stability where like I don't need that amount of money.
Yeah.
And I would rather be a voice when I can, which I can be now, than be another like person who's just a part of the cycle.
The significance of Brie not taking that money
Huge.
is fucking huge. And like she did some shitty things during the course of her relationship, but I think if you're a decent human, you can see that like it was a result of the Zach Bryan stuff. Like, yes, she fucked up here, and she acknowledged. She was like,
she said that she lost herself.
Yeah, she was like,
in that relationship,
there are things like that I'm guilty of and that I did wrong.
Yeah.
Along the way, but like, and like, so she posted a video today, even on TikTok, where people were still going on about, you know how she said about the Menendez brothers, where she was like, why didn't they just run away? Yeah. And then she got like fucking hammered for it. She posted TikTok today addressing that, and she was like, I literally was projecting.
Yeah.
Like, and like, that's not no one's saying that like it's okay that she said what she said, but she's self-aware enough, and she's like, now that she can speak about it all, she's like, this is why I turned into a shitty person.
Yeah. And I feel like until you're out of that situation and out of that relationship, you don't even see how deep that trauma goes.
Yeah.
And how deep you were impacted by it until like, you can look in hindsight and be like, oh fuck, like, who even am I now? Like,
and I was thinking about this, like, it's all well and good for people to be like, yeah, but there were signs, like you could have like called it for what it is, and there were signs. But I feel like unless you've seen someone who you're really close to go through something similar, or you've been through it yourself, you don't know until it's too late.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
I think people need to give her grace. But back on the money thing, she'd said, one of the things she said very early on in the episode, which really stuck with me, was I was someone before him. I had a career before him, and I will be someone after him, and I will still have a career after him.
Absolutely.
And I'll still be successful after him. I may not sell out stadiums, but I will still be someone after him. And I think that's really, really important as a message, like just beyond Brie, for other people. Like, you are someone.
You were someone before and you will be someone after. Like, they're a footnote to your story. They're not the be all and end all. Yeah.
And Brie went on to say, like, I'm not signing away my experiences and what I went through to protect someone that hurt me, and I'm a lot stronger than a weak man, so fuck you and fuck your money.
Yeah, period. On business.
Facts.
Bitch.
And then she said, because she did allude to the fact that his two other exes, like so Rose, his ex-wife, and then Deb, his most recent ex-girlfriend, they had been like given the NDA and taken some sort of money, which also
each to their own.
That's not their fault. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? That for someone like Deb, that would have changed, and Rose, that would have changed their life. That's a much more similar scenario to us.
Yeah.
And Bree was like, "I'm not the people before. I was someone before you, and you made the women before me believe that they had no other choice to take money from you, sign their experiences away, and sign what they went through away. You get to skip off and sing your little fucking songs on stage like you're a good dude. You get to treat people around you like shit. Sorry, I'm not them. I don't want your money." And then, because, the offer was like $12 million. And then he was also offering like to buy her a house and all this kind of shit. And she goes, "I don't want in 2 years to buy a fucking house and think, oh, this is the money from the dude that literally fucking destroyed me and broke me for a year. Thanks, Zach."
Yeah.
And I think that's also important.
Yeah.
I honestly think I would have taken the money. And I think...
Yeah.
Like, I would like to think that I wouldn't have taken the money and been like, fuck you, I'm going to tell my story. But I'm like, $12 million is so much money.
Also, I get that I'm saying this on a podcast, but who's going to listen to my side of the story?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if Deb and Rose spoke out about it, who's going to listen?
And
no one knew them before Bree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's why they did take the money. And I think that's why it's so important that Bree didn't take the money.
Yeah.
Because out of everyone in this scenario, Bree is the person who's going...
She's got the platform.
Yeah.
To make a difference.
Yeah, and people are actually going to take her seriously.
Yeah.
So then she starts going into detail about what really happened in their relationship over the course of that period. So she's still very adamant that there was no crossover between her and Deb.
That's crazy.
But to be honest, I feel like if she truly knew or thought that there was crossover, she would have said it.
Yeah.
Because she admitted to so many other things.
Yeah.
So that's, if there was crossover, then that's a Zach thing. That's not a Bree thing. She was saying that the first 4 months of their relationship was perfect. Super fine. She was saying, so really early, like literally the first time they properly hung out, they went on this fucking like 12-hour road trip across the country. And she was saying how she did it because she was like, it'll be a funny story. And it would be like, like I went on a road trip with Zach Bryan. I think I would have done the same thing. Yeah. Right? And she's like, immediately on that road trip, he's like love bombing me, being like, oh my God, we're soulmates. This whole thing.
And this is where I feel like I would fall into the trap, because it makes absolute sense that you would be obsessed with me after a couple of hours in the car.
I'm obsessed with me after a couple of hours in the car.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if the playlist is banging, of course you're going to want to kiss me.
100%. Like, if I'm in a, like, stuck with someone and we are seemingly having a great time.
Like, if I'm into you, love bombing doesn't exist. Like,
to be honest, I probably love bomb myself in that scenario. Like, you didn't even have to do anything.
No.
I'm convinced that the stars are aligned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who are you convincing, doll? I'm already there. Like.
Yeah. And then she was saying like the first 4 months, absolute bliss. And then they originally, she broke up with him in like October of 2023. And she was like, at that point, I still knew who I was. And she was like, I broke up with him because I'm like, you've become fucked. Like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And he begged for her back and she took him back. And she was like, pretty much from that point onwards, I completely lost myself. And like, if you really look back at her socials and her videos and everything, you really can see the decline in like who she was to who she is now. So one of the other like key things that happened was her and Grace went to the Golden Globes and she wore she looked stunning. Her and Grace both looked absolutely stunning. And I remember when this happened, like the night of this event, everyone noticed on Reddit that Zach had unfollowed Bree. Anyway, she addressed it and she was like, yeah, he messaged me saying, where is it? I've got it here. Yeah. So she said in the podcast this week that Zach Bryan tried to control what she wore and posted online. And then she spoke about the Golden Globes incident in January where he said he didn't want to date someone that presents themselves that way, and he unfollowed me. He ruined my night. Anything good I did for me, he made sure to ruin it. And then another instance of that was like September. I think it was September through to October of this year. She had her own tour. So she went on tour with Bryan, like literally followed him around the country because they decided that was the right thing to do. And then as soon as, like, she'd planned hers and Grace's tour for when Bryan had a 2-month break, thinking that, like, oh, I've just supported my boyfriend on this tour. He's going to do the same for me. As soon as her tour starts, he's like, I'm not coming.
Oh, I'm tired.
I'm tired. I need some time to
chill. It's too much. Having all these people do all this work for me and I just sing is just a lot.
Yeah, my life's so hard.
It's so hard to wash my hands every day.
So she went off on tour.
So she was like, fine.
Yeah, she was really good about it.
Yeah, you're so fair. You've been touring for months and months. Because I have been doing it with you.
Yeah,
but
ignore the fact that you've just dragged your girlfriend across the country, completely isolated her from all her friends and family.
Look, you know what? That's all good. You stay here. I'll do my tour. See you when I see you.
She goes on her tour. He's like, oh, I'm revived. Let me throw a pop-up in New York City and stay out all night.
And just get absolutely fuck-eyed. That doesn't sound like staying at home and chilling now, does it?
That sounds like being a cunt.
Yeah.
So then she's on tour and she was like, that's when I started to like feel a bit more like myself, because she was in her environment with her friends.
Yeah.
And she was like
doing what she loves.
Yeah. She was like, I forgot how much I loved everything in my life because I was being told that everything in my life was stupid and like shit and just...
And that like she was worth... But like twisting it so like, you're worth more. You can do better than this. Like, you know, like this is beneath you.
Yeah,
like,
completely degraded the fact that she worked for Barstool, shat on her employer, her colleagues, completely shat on Grace. So then she had her birthday sometime this year. And for her birthday, Zach had like got her like this holiday house and by a lake, and all her friends and some of her family want to come stay for the weekend or whatever, celebrate her birthday. First of all, Zach decided he wasn't going to go.
Yeah, so he rented out the house, didn't he? Or yeah. And then like the closer it got to his birthday, Brie was saying that he was like making a big deal out of the fact that it was her birthday, and he would be like, oh, this is so fucking inconvenient. Like, I don't want to go. Like, it's just so annoying that the one time I have off, I have to spend it with your friends.
Can you imagine if your birthday
Sorry for being born.
Imagine like you've organized something for your birthday, and as we're leading up to it, I'm like,
it's just really inconvenient.
I'm so tired. Cannot be bothered.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I will shoot you. I will fucking shoot you.
Like, yeah.
And then
for that to come from your partner as well, like that's meant to be the person that's meant to make the biggest deal out of anyone to want to celebrate you.
That would ruin me.
Yeah.
As a person. If
you'd feel like fucking shit.
Yeah. If the one person that you really want there, like she's obviously wanting all her friends and family there, but you really want him there, and he's like, fuck your birthday. Your birthday is so
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'll just go. I need to buy a gun.
Literally. So anyway, he ends up going. And then reluctantly, and then he starts being a dick. So it's literally her birthday is at midnight. It's just before midnight. Yeah. He starts being a dick to the people, like to her friends that are there.
He's drinking.
So she's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to go to bed.
It's like 11:30. So like they had a plan that on midnight they were all going to have like champagne because it was her birthday.
Yeah.
She didn't even make it to her birthday because of Zach.
No, she was like, I'm going to go to bed. Hopefully he'll come with me. And then
everyone else can have a good time.
Yeah, it'll diffuse. Yeah. And her friends were like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He doesn't follow her to bed.
Oh, no, he stays.
He stayed. He was like, I have things to say.
I would like to stand on business.
She wakes up like an hour or so later to her friends like yelling and screaming downstairs. She goes downstairs and he's effectively just been shitting on all her friends.
Yeah. Like verbally shitting.
This was rumored on the Reddit thread around the time when it happened. And this was all confirmed in what she said. But she didn't name names. But effectively what happened was Zach had cornered Grace and had been like, you aren't shit, you're not funny, you'll never be as talented as Brie, and like totally ripped into Grace. And that was the moment where Grace was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You are a piece of shit. And that really...
You just know O'Malley would have fucking ripped him a new one as well.
Oh,
like,
100%.
she would have gone for the fucking jugular.
Yeah, and that was like a pivotal moment in like Brie and Grace's friendship, because like Brie clearly didn't stand up for Grace because she's in a shitty position. She stands up for Grace, Zach's gonna fucking fly off the rocker. But she doesn't stand up for Grace, and you know, so that was a huge moment with that alone. And then she alluded to having like videos and photos of so many different incidences which she didn't talk about in detail, which would literally ruin.
And her friends having receipts as well.
Yeah.
Especially from that night. Like, apparently everyone was recording Zach because he was just being so off the rails.
Yeah.
And then what is crazy, side note to me, is that almost all of the comments that were said on Brie's snark thread ended up being true.
They all were true. All of them.
The fans just figure shit out, man. It's absolutely crazy. But there was a theory going around, I think in the snark thread as well as on TikTok, saying that because of that night, everyone thought that Grace had a lot of like receipts and video content and stuff about what Zach was saying. And that's the reason why she's been so quiet, is because she also got paid off to either delete the content or not talk about the content and what happened that night. Because Grace hasn't really said anything about the situation since it's happened, since they broke up. And then just this morning, I think it was, she posted on Instagram and she was like, just for the record, and it's like literally a photo from that night and like Zach sitting by like the bonfire and like all of Brie's friends are like around him. And she's like, it's like ad lib obviously, but like, just for the record, would never take any of that fucking piece of shit's money. Like, I haven't signed shit. Like, I haven't. Yeah,
I've got it here. She said, I wish I didn't even have to say this, but there is no world where I would ever take money from that clown to shut me up. It's been quite the year and I'm still not ready to talk about it online. I'm just happy Brie is free from that piece of shit. That's all for now.
Yeah.
And I don't like... Plan Brie, which is the other podcast that Brie has, and that one is with Grace. That one hasn't had an episode in a hot minute.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's fair.
If it was to come back, because there's still speculation that might not even come back, I think that's the platform where Grace tells her side.
Yeah.
But I can see why Grace... Like, there's part of you that wouldn't want to get involved and just would want to move on from it. But then there's a part where it's like, no, fuck you. You really did me dirty.
Yeah. Oh,
kind
100%.
Of thing.
And I feel like it's so hard for, like, Plan Brie, because it's like you can't have an episode without addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't just pretend that nothing's happened and you just go back to your normal content. Like, you have to say something. And if both of you aren't really there yet, and, like, your friendship isn't there yet either, like... They've been through so much because of Brie's relationship with Zach, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't really go back to where you were before that happened overnight.
Yeah, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, so I don't know where that's going to go.
But there's now, since the podcast episode has come out this week, people have been digging into like the content during their relationship, because like now they're realizing things. So there was a Plan Brie episode with Brie and Grace. They were at the house that Zach Bryan bought, and this was after Brie's birthday, and she was like talking about like obviously none of what had come out this week, but she at one point she stands up and she's like showing all the bruises on her legs, and she's saying how like it's from her birthday weekend or whatever. And they literally look like handprints, and people are saying or are speculating, allegedly, it could have been Zach Bryan.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
There was another video during their relationship where she was talking about how she like broke her nose at one point and said that Boston, her dog, did it, like jumping on her. And people are saying, like she was covering up for Zach kind of thing. And... Yeah, so it has been a fucking wild week for Zach Bryan and Brie fans.
It's just such, and like, it's such a difficult situation to be in as someone that watches a friend go through that. Because it's like, you want to be supportive of them, but you also want them, like, you see it for what it is.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't tell them how to live their life, but at the same time, you want what's best for them, and you know that person isn't what's best for them.
Yeah.
So it's like,
they have to realize it on their own.
Yeah.
They always have to realize it on their own.
And it's just like,
yeah.
how do you stay being a good friend and like also protecting your energy?
Yeah.
And be there for them when they don't even see that they're in that.
And it's really hard because, like, what do you do if you're Grace in that situation?
Yeah.
Like,
what do you
when
do?
Brie comes to you bitching about Zach when things, like, you know, when things go wrong, and, like, you could easily just be like, well, he's a cunt, leave him. It's that simple. Like, leave him. Like, you can't do that.
And then when they're like, yep, no, you're right. And then the next minute they're back together.
Or the opposite, where it just causes a fight between you two because they're like, no, you don't know him the way that I do. Yeah. It's
like,
so you honestly, the strength it takes.
It fucking sucks. It sucks for everyone that's in it. It, like, honestly.
Yeah.
And like 9 times out of 10, it's always the women that have to pick it up and, you know, to do the work, and men just get away with doing it to the next person because it's so easy to cover up.
Yeah. So it was public knowledge that the BFFs episode was coming out. It came out Friday, Australian time. Zach Bryan just happened to release a single on the same day.
Dropped that real fucking quick, didn't he?
Right.
Like a hot potato.
Called High Road. And
the irony.
Yeah, and let me get some of the lyrics, because people were saying this is why it was important for Brie to say her story. Because imagine if she'd signed that NDA, and she almost did. She admitted she almost did. And she would have had his team not delayed it, right? That I'll read out some of the lyrics, right? And let's just assume that this is about Brie.
Yeah.
Right? That imagine being silenced and having to see this man who is adored by so many sing this song that is just full of lies. Right? So let me find them. There's lyrics in there like, everyone is telling me that I need help or therapy, but all I need is to be left alone. She's bound to come back and haunt you forever. There's ghosts in the windows and walls. I've waited by the telephone all fucking night for someone that ain't ever gonna call. So she's bound to come back and haunt you forever. Everyone's saying that is him being like, she's gonna come out and air my dirty laundry kind of thing. Right? Like, I fucking hate this man.
The audacity for this man to know that this is his cycle and this is how he gets content for his albums, and he does it through ruining women's lives and profiting off of that. And then in the same fucking breath to be like, oh, but I need you to feel sorry for me because I'm human as well.
Yeah.
Go, not even respectfully, literally go fuck yourself.
Seems,
how dare you?
It seems the quiet dreams have gotten much too heavy, but I'm home now and I'll hold you through the pain.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Adderall and white lace bras that'll make you fall in love. You left your blue jeans in my pickup truck. New York this time of year ain't good for me because all my friends lack self-control and empathy.
What friends, cunt? What friends?
Okay, let's play the shut the fuck up game.
Literal, I do not give a fuck what this man thinks.
This ugly, stinky ass man with dirt under his fucking fingernails, with a square head and a receding hairline, who has done nothing but shit on women for years, and he's finally
get away with it.
Yeah, but guess what? Not now, motherfucker. Your time is up, right? And then, so he posted to his Instagram to promote High Road, which the fucking picture that he has used for the artwork for this was a photo that Deb took.
No. This man's an actual fucking piece of shit.
No, he is
an actual fucking
slug. If you date Zach Bryan, you are nothing but an employee for 12 months.
Oh my god.
So his caption, wait, it gets worse. His caption. After not being home for a year and a half, I drove out to my mother's gravestone in the dead of the night a few days back on familiar Oklahoma roads, and I came to realize, just like in the past, that she never would call me again. Told her I quit touring because I got accepted to get my master's in Paris next year. I told her I was back in Oklahoma, told her about all my best friends in New York and all the nights we had with the moon, told her about the immeasurable laughter my band and me have shared these last 5 years, all the calluses on my fingertips, every tear shed, told her about making it on the Rolling Stone, and most importantly told her about the porch swinging with my beautiful sister. I wrote the chorus for this song a month or two back and finished it when I realized I was blessed with all these things. I figured it was about time I released it. Thank you guys for listening to The World's a Giant last night, and thank you to all the people who love me, who have truly carried the weight with me. Seems that all these quiet dreams have gotten much too heavy, but I'm home now and I'll hold you through the pain.
Don't fucking touch me.
You're not quitting touring and going and doing a fucking master's in Paris.
Masters in what?
A master's in being a piece of fucking shit loser, right? Like, sorry, what are you going to get? A doctorate in being a dickhead?
Doctorate in a baguette? Fuck off. Fuck off.
Fuck this man. Fuck this man.
A master's in shitting in the Seine.
Like, I hate this man. With
like everything he says, like, he just believes his own lies and it's absolutely diabolical.
It has truly tainted.
It's diabolical.
It has truly tainted his music for me. And like,
do you remember that time we were at Shotgun Willie's and you tried to get them to play a Zach Bryan song and that gingerhead girl was like, we're not playing Zach Bryan? She fucking respect. She fucking knew. She knew.
This whole time I had beef with the woman at Shotgun Willie's for not playing Zach Bryan, and I was the fool.
We were the clown.
Was the fucking clown. And next time I go, I'll paint my face in clown makeup and beg on my knees apologizing to her. Because I had real vendetta against her over that.
We did for a hot minute. Yeah. We were like, how dare you not play Revival?
I was like, what the fuck? Who hates Zach Bryan? What a fucking weird thing to do.
Well, lo and behold.
Here I am in line with my fucking
front row. Yeah.
Front row.
I'm the one like playing the drums. I'm the percussion. For the army.
And I've got the megaphone at the front calling the warrior call. Fuck this man. And you know what? I'm glad that I waited until like towards the end to publicly comment on their relationship, because there was moments where like I was seeing stuff in real time and I'm like, fuck, this is not good for Brie. Like,
I mean, we've said that, and like, I still stand by what we said and what the comments we've said about Brie. Like, yeah, she's said herself that she's changed.
Yeah, she fucked up, and there's no doubting that. But I think that, like, if I hadn't have waited until now, I could have gone to him, and then I'd be like, egg on my face.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine being like a diehard fan, like female fan of Zach Bryan, right? And then having like a tattoo of his lyrics.
Do you know what? There's gonna be
the fucking wow.
There's gonna be fans, men and women, who will still ride or die for Zach over
sure, because people are fucking crazy.
And you know what? More crazy shit as well. While we're talking about it, Brie was talking about at one point how one day she was playing last night. Oh no, she was singing last night by Morgan Wallen.
That's why I was saying that at the beginning of the
in their house, and Zach got fucking furious. He was like, "Don't you ever sing a song by another man in front of me. Like, that's
so disrespectful, blah blah blah." And then it got to a point where she couldn't even listen to Noah Kahan. And then like Zach and Noah were meant to be friends, and he was meant to be like supporting him on his show. What the fuck?
I hate to say it, Zach, but Noah's always been a better writer and better musician than you have. So, and that was before this all came out.
Yeah. So now it's like, oh well, now it makes sense why they don't follow each other. Fucking crazy. Did you see that the Boston ice hockey team posted that video about all of them singing last night? Oh my god, stunning! I did see that. Love.
So, fuck Zach Bryan. He had a few good songs, but now they're all tainted.
Trash.
Because I can't the lyrics don't hit the same when you know that he wrote them like it's not true. Like,
Yeah.
he's painting a false narrative of a relationship
Yeah.
where he was a cunt.
And, like, there's a woman on the other end of it that just got completely fucking obliterated
Yeah.
and has to stay silent and can't even say her part.
Yeah. Why the hell are NDAs a thing? I understand NDAs from a business perspective, like, so that you can't
Why do
share.
I have to shut the fuck up about tea?
Yeah.
Maybe don't be a cunt, and then I won't have anything bad to say.
This is how NDAs. We need a reform on NDAs globally, and this is what it should be. You should be able to have an NDA from a business perspective to protect commercial, like, IP.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That should be allowed.
Yeah.
Personal NDAs for famous rich people has done nothing but harm society. Let's look at, like, Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Jeffrey Epstein,
It just
Harvey.
protects the rich. It protects the fucking rich.
Look at P. Diddy. Look at the Zach Bryan. You should not legally be allowed to, like, issue an NDA and for that to hold up in court.
Also, his fucking team, right?
Yeah.
You have to have no fucking moral compass
Yeah.
to 1, support him, 2, work for him, and 3, enable that fucking behavior.
Facts.
That is fucking vile.
Facts.
The fact that he has the opportunity to do that again and again and again to women and then profit from it, it just blows my fucking mind that his team just fucking allow it. And they're like, oh, well,
Yeah.
he pays our bills, so
Yeah.
how do you fucking sleep at night?
We need a reform that says that NDAs do not protect illegal activity.
Yeah.
Like, if you do something illegal.
Or abuse.
Well, that's illegal.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't do shitty things and be like, it's fine because I made you sign a piece of paper. No, that's not how this works anymore.
No.
So,
Anyway,
that's my rant on the Zach Bryan situation.
crazy. I can't wait for more stuff to come out if it does come out.
I think as Brie finds her own again and, like, slowly moves on, more will come out because she'll become more confident. Yeah, she'll get more confident. She's still obviously super upset and it's, like, super raw. So I think more will come out. But that is the upshot of the drama that has literally gripped me for the last week.
So I've been sick, right? And I've been taking Hydrolite, right? You take what? 2 or 4 tablets a day? You know?
I've never had Hydrolite.
You've never had, neither have I until today, right? So I was like, oh, like, you know, like you just take like a couple in a, like pop 2 in like a glass of water, whatever. Have a cup, like, you know, 2 glasses of Hydrolite, whatever. I thought that was a standard amount. So from reading the box, unless I've fucking lost all ability to comprehend words, you take it like within 6 hours of having symptoms of dehydration, right?
Right.
So it has electrolytes in it so that, like, you know, your symptoms don't get worse. So within 6 hours, as an adult, you're meant to have 20 tablets.
I'm sorry, what?
20 tablets. And the maximum that you can have over, I think it's like 24 hours, 40. Who the fuck
Just have a Powerade doll.
is drinking 40 fucking tablets of Hydrolite? That's clinically insane.
And how many are you having, like, but how much
like
more?
4. And I'm like, oh. Oh, this isn't even fucking touching the sides.
Fuck, man. That does remind me, though. I've got a fast from 8 p.m. tonight because I need to. I've been on my.
Do you like Lano Lips?
This is the only one I've ever had.
Do you like it?
I've got the Dolce de Leche gelato one.
Dolce Leche?
Sure. And at first, the flavor of it was a bit jarring, but it's grown on me, and now I'm addicted to it. I do like
the formula?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I love it.
Give me that.
It's melted.
I don't care. Give me that.
No, can I give it to you when it's not melted? I'm embarrassed. It's like my crummy one.
No, well, if I've lived through the crummy one, doll, I think I can live through this. This is fine.
Just careful. Just careful.
It's a big little. Smells like baby vomit.
Thanks.
Like milky vomit.
A couple of months ago, I woke up one day and was like, I need to do a lot of adulting. And I never go to the GP. I never do anything like that because I'm like, fuck, I have trust issues.
I'm the same. I'm like an 80-year-old man when it comes to the GP. Like, I refuse to go unless like I have to. Everyone's like, when I was sick, they're like, you should, at least try to book a telehealth. And I'm like, why? I don't need a label. Why do we need to put labels on everything? I don't need to know what I've got, doll. What are they going to tell me? Just, you just got to ride the wave. I can do that for free without giving them $40.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
When I'm really sick, then I'll go into meltdown mode.
Nah.
But like, I just have a lot of trust issues with GPs. I haven't had good experiences in the past. But a few months ago, I booked all like at once, a full skin check, a pap smear.
I hate getting, I don't hate getting naked, but in front of a doctor, it's weird.
Yeah. And then I have never had like a full blood like check, like thyroid, cholesterol, blood sugar, all of it. I've never had it all before, right? Mm-hmm. So I booked it all. Mm-hmm. And so that's what my blood test is tomorrow. I got my skin check
I hope
this
they
week.
Come back and they tell you that you've got like 56 things wrong with you and then you just implode from the stress.
Why would you wish that upon me? What the fuck?
Because ignorance is bliss.
It is. But what the fuck?
Not that I wish, but like, it's just, yeah. That's what that
you know
is.
What?
Because that's my fear of that's why I don't want to do it. Because I'm like, I would rather not know. Like, give me a minute while Coco barks. Take that outside, please. Thank you. I'm living right now, right?
Yeah.
Probably not optimally, probably not efficiently, some may say. But I'm living, right?
Yeah.
Surviving, not thriving, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Why do I need to know what's wrong with me? If I'm already kind of functioning with it
Yeah.
and it's going to cost more for me to get an upgrade?
Do you know what?
Cost-benefit analysis just isn't...
Do you know what, though? And typically I would agree with you, and that's kind of why I've gone 30 years not knowing what's going on, right? But I'm also like, I should at least check once every 30 years.
2 health checkups in my lifetime and we'll call it quits.
Yeah. Like, I should at least...
Got to make that Medicare levy work for something.
I think it's because, like, so many health problems run in my family.
Yeah.
I'm
fair.
like, let me just...
You'll come back fine. Like, you'll come back fine, honestly.
I'm not afraid. The only one that I really don't want...
Yeah.
And the one thing I've always been afraid of...
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
If I get diabetes... No, I don't.
And you know what? That runs through my family too.
My mum's got it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it.
I just... Nah.
There's like... I would... Like, I'm not going to say the word, but I would rather literally anything but diabetes.
Yeah. But type 2 is reversible though.
No, but there's something about it, like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not getting diabetes.
No, I don't think you've got it though.
Can you imagine me having to be like, yeah, everyone, I got diabetes because I ate fucking McDonald's for breakfast? Like, that's so embarrassing.
I like a sweet treat.
Like, that's so embarrassing to me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. See, that as well. Like,
I can deal with literally everything else that might come out of it. High cholesterol, high everything, like whatever.
Yeah. You know what I found out from blood tests? I don't absorb B12 from food.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
I have to get like shots every couple of months.
But what happens because you don't, like, what are the side effects of not absorbing B12?
Tired.
Yeah, okay.
Energy.
Yeah, okay.
Now, do you think I've got those shots?
Oh, no, it makes sense.
I filled the script. Do you think I got the shots
When was
done?
the last time you had one?
I've never got it done.
No wonder you're always, like, depressed.
Yeah, probably. But I just... I just can't be bothered to do it. This is the thing. It's like when you kind of, on a whim, you clean out a cupboard, right?
Right.
You've got all your funky hats on. You've got a lay.
Yeah.
You've got your Bratz doll next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got your fucking Nintendogs
found
on
all
your
the
Nintendo
shit,
DS. Yeah. You're having a blast, and you get to a point. So that's me booking the appointment, getting the bloods done. and then seeing the doctor for the follow-up, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, look at all of these trinkets that I have collected on my journey, right? Look at all of the things wrong with me that I can fix, right? And then they're like, all right, this is the problem. This is the solution. This is how you fix it. And then that's when I hit the fucking wall and I'm like, oh, it's 11 p.m. and I have work tomorrow and I need to go to bed, but there's no space on my bed because all of my trinkets are on my bed. How I need to sleep. I can't do this anymore. This is too much. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's the bit.
And it's going to depend on what the outcome is. Like if there is something wrong with me, like part of me, I don't actually want anything, like knock on wood, like let's just hope.
Oh no, yeah. It comes back
fine.
fine. Yeah, absolutely.
But like imagine they were like
I don't want anything wrong with you because that will make me sad.
But imagine they were like, well, if it's wrong with me, we can just
we both have it. Yeah. Obviously.
Me, can I get 2 scripts filled out, please?
Yeah.
For my undiagnosed friend.
Can I have a blank Klimpath form with all of the tests on it and I'll just fill out the other details? Thank you.
Part of me is like, if I had PCOS.
Yeah.
That answers a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I feel like, look how like Brittany Broski's had a glow up once she's figured out she has.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I could have a glow up. But then I don't want to put in the work for the glow up.
To get that diagnosis, though, is...
No. But and I don't want it. But like, anyway.
But yeah. I know what you mean.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
it's just really hard looking after yourself, honestly.
This is why this is the first time I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I've got to do it while I've got the motivation.
Oh, yeah.
Like
strike while the iron's hot. Absolutely.
Did my full skin check, right?
Yeah.
And she was clear as day.
Oh, love that.
Not a single issue. Not even like anything that needs to be cut out. At one point,
though, I'm due for one, but in my last one, they were like, no, you're fine. And I'm like, even this fucking third head that's growing on the side of me? And they're like, nope, that's benign. And I'm like...
They said I have skin damage to my décolletage.
Oh, décolletage.
To my décolletage. And my arms, which doesn't surprise me. Like, I've only been into, like, sun safety the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's my own fault. At one point, so she's like, okay, roll over. Like, you're just literally in your underwear.
Roll over.
She's like, I was on my back. And then she's like,
girl.
all right, flip. She was like, flip. Yeah. Roll over, you get a treat.
Play dead.
Bark. Anyway, so I'm laying there and like, she like pulled my underwear down. She like, at one, like just very briefly, like moved my butt cheek slightly. And I'm like, there is no chance there's a mole in there. Dude. And like my whole body tense. I'm like, I can just imagine.
That's like lifting the sofa to get the crumbs off the carpet. Like, who does that? To vacuum up the crumbs. Like, who does that?
I can just imagine the visual that she, like, you've gone in there unannounced. Okay. Like, there was
the
no.
goblin's like, sunlight!
There was no warning. I at no point thought that you would ever need to go in there. And so, like, I didn't
tidy up. I wasn't expecting guests. I wasn't expecting an inspection. I wasn't prepared. I didn't wash the dishes.
Unannounced guess. I was like, wow. It was a
Surprised
lot.
a little fart didn't come out.
It was a lot. And then I'm like, on the phone to Dad afterwards, and I'm telling him, and I'm like, I don't.
But what was she looking for? What could possibly be there?
It must have been like the hints of a mole that she's like, well, for me to get the full picture, I just need to slide you across.
It was your bum, right?
It was my bum.
It's just a speck of poo.
No, because I couldn't.
Oh, that is not a mole. That one can come off.
I called Dad afterwards. And I'm like, it all went fine, but she looked at my butt cheek. And I was like, what if it wasn't a mole? What if it was poo? But she's just seen poo. my skin. Like, I don't know, like, do I do a self-assessment to know, like, what the answer is?
That is brave. Wow. Wow.
So that's how my morning started. Then my afternoon was spent with a pap smear, which is even more humiliating.
Oh, they need to find a fucking better way to do a pap.
I didn't know that you could do home pap smears. Like, no offense, but I'm not doing that.
No. I don't know if you can, but I know that they're definitely, like, trying to phase into that.
No.
To get more people to, like, do it on time.
No.
But that's not enticing me, doll.
I need to disassociate. I can't. Like, I'm not.
I'm not sticking a small umbrella up my hoo-ha. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Like, no. Like, that's just jerking it at that point. Like, I'm not doing that.
I don't have the dexterity for starters. My limbs aren't long enough. There's a lot of circumference I need to go over and under to get to the position that you want me to get into.
Boobs these size, I can't see what the fuck's going on down south. Like, it's just, there's a ledge and I can't peer over it.
Literally.
Fucking hell.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
That sounds like a skinny person sport.
Yeah, sorry. Home pap smears are for the skinny only. Sorry.
Sorry, Doc.
Oh, I just need a moment. Fuck, man. So anyway, some woman out there has just seen way more than... Actually, 2 women this week have seen way more than what they ever needed to, and I apologise. Reading. Let's get into reading.
Okay.
So, for those playing at home, for the last 9 months... So, January of 2024, this year, I was in my Throne of Glass era.
Yeah.
Got up to the tandem read. Mm-hmm. It has taken me 9 fucking months, but I'm proud to announce...
She's only gone and done it, ladies
I
and
have
gentlemen.
completed the tandem read.
She's done it. Round of applause. Oy.
Holy shit. I put my mind to it, and I finished it. Was it, like... So, one of the books, Empire of Storms, follows, like, the whole gang, and then Tower of Dawn follows Kale.
What character am I in Throne of Glass?
I don't think we relate to any of them.
Oh, I hate that. That's lame.
Yeah.
Ugh, boring.
So Kale goes off...
Boring.
Right. Kale goes off to this, like, southern continent because, spoiler alert, so if you don't want spoilers, then just... And I'm going to spoil it for you because there's not a chance in hell you're reading Throne of Glass. There's just not.
A 1,000-page book.
Right?
Get fucked.
So, at the end of the book prior, which I can't even remember what it's fucking called, Kale, there's, like, this huge, like, fight, and the king dies, the glass
R.I.P.
castle gets blown up.
Not the castle.
And Kale, one of the characters, he was, like, one of the guards, right? He's, like, best friends with the king's son, like, very intertwined in the whole story. He's always been a fucking pest. Always been a pest. Anyway, at the end of that book, he gets injured really badly to the point where he's paralyzed from, like, the waist down, right? So the whole book of Tower of Dawn is him and one of the other characters, Nezrin. They go to the southern continent. I think it's called, like, I call it Antica. Anyway, I think it's...
Antica Pizzeria?
Yeah, facts.
Delish.
They go to the southern continent, and it's partly because that's where it's, like, known for its healers. And if anyone can heal him from being paraplegic, it's going to be them. But also because they want to try and get them on board to join their side for the war that's, like, brewing, right? And against, like, the demon kings. Yeah, so keep up. And fuck you, stupid face. Anyway, so they, he's down there. The whole, I'm talking like a 600-page book. It's about him seeing this healer and her working on his legs, and then him just being a cunt most of the book. And then they fall in love towards the end.
Of course they do.
Anyway, so that book made the tandem read near impossible because it was so boring.
Yeah.
People have said, like, that, but it's like, you know, it made me like Kale and it's this great story. No,
Fuck
it sucks.
Kale.
The book sucks, right? Didn't need it. You could have taken like the executive summary of Tower of Dawn and embedded it as a couple of chapters into Empire of Storm.
Throw it in and amongst
Didn't
the crowd.
need it.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Empire of Storm, it was like literally nothing really happens in either book. It's a lot of like people just going around, like walking from one place to another. Like there's no fights. There's a fight towards the end of Empire of Storm. But it's a lot of like setting up for the final book, right? I preferred Empire of Storm because it has the better characters in it.
Yeah.
But now that I finished those two, all this stuff happened at the end. I've started Kingdom of Ash, which, as you said, is like fucking 1,000 pages.
Like, no exaggeration.
No, like Kindle said it's going to take me 22 hours to read this. Facts.
I want to do a little challenge and see how many books I can read in the time it takes you to read.
Well, considering it took me 9 months to read the tandem read, it's going to take me probably 9 months to read this.
Me, one book.
It's like a picture book. It's already starting Kingdom of Ash. Like I finished the tandem read and I had this new motivation in me. Like I didn't hate fantasy
You're
anymore.
So close, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I've gone
Home
through the
stretch,
trenches.
yeah.
Now, like I was actually excited to read
Yeah.
Kingdom of Ash.
Yeah.
So I've started it. I'm literally like 7% through. But it's just nice having everything in one book. There's a lot more now of the like mate bonds and like a little bit of romance, which we really haven't had much of the series. And I need that. I need that thirst. I need that lust. I need a little bit of will they, won't they.
Maybe it's time for me to read the second Fourth Wing.
Have you still not read that? Even Jackie's halfway through.
Yeah.
Jackie's like 70% of the way through.
Maybe it's time I read.
Standing on business, let's rank fantasy.
Okay.
I would say ACOTAR,
Yeah.
wholeheartedly, the Fourth Wing series,
Yeah, okay.
and nothing else really matters after that. People who have so many...
You know what else I haven't read, which I think I should actually... I think this should be my next series that I read. Harry Potter.
Oh my fucking God.
I've read the first one and
Oh
I'm
my-
halfway through the second one.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. I feel like they'll be easier to churn through too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just got a throbbing headache after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many people say that they prefer Throne of Glass over ACOTAR. How?
Yeah. So many people do.
Throne of Glass, and this is making me wonder, is like really true fantasy, like real comprehensive
Like
fantasy for
the
me.
Priory of the Orange Tree or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That, like, will I actually like that? I don't know. Dunno, doll.
Yeah, and then because when I finished Kingdom of Ash,
But what is what intrigues me though, because like I don't know, like I do like romance in fantasy books, but I'm like, would I maybe like fantasy books better without it?
there's literally no romance in these books.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I've heard nothing but fucking pain from you. So
I just feel like, and I get it, I understand there is so much detail in this series, and Sarah J Maas really puts a lot of effort into setting things up, and they do come out in the wash later and it all makes sense. But to trudge through that like setting up, and like there's so many fucking characters, honestly there are more
Yeah.
characters in the Throne of Glass series than there are people that I've met in my lifetime.
yeah,
The world is so elaborate, it's really hard to keep up.
I just don't appreciate how long they are.
Yeah, that's
They just keep fucking going.
but I'm like, when I finish Kingdom of Ash, am I going to read
Crescent City.
Crescent City? Because that's like a whole
That's thick too from the beginning.
and that's even harder fantasy.
Yeah.
That's like the boss.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do because I feel like I have to. Like I can't go through the world not having read every single Sarah J Maas book. I didn't come this far to only come this far.
And I want to be the same.
I honestly
Okay,
don't.
right, listen the fuck up. All right, I need to do the second Fourth Wing. And
Yeah,
then
start
I need
there.
to decide whether I go Harry Potter or whether I go...
I personally think go Throne of Glass because you know what happens in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I find it
Yeah.
harder to get into something when I know the
yeah.
answer.
Yeah, maybe I'll do Throne of Glass.
Brooke, Averick. So she has a podcast called Obsessed with Brooke Averick. And one of her most recent episodes is literally just her talking about the entire Throne of Glass series start to finish.
That's crazy.
It's like only an hour episode. Like it's very high level.
Not very many thoughts.
But she goes through it in detail, and she like obviously talks about her thoughts on it. There are spoilers. Like as soon as I realized that she was going to talk about like Kingdom of Ash, I stopped it because I didn't want spoilers. So, but I think that might be a deciding factor for you as to whether it is worth a listen. I
think I'm just gonna read it. If I can't get through it, then I'm just gonna DNF it. Like
start with Throne of Glass,
okay,
which I think I have the physical for, so I can give that to you.
Stunning.
Start there. Do not start with Assassin's Blade.
Okay.
Read that third.
Okay. Done. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yes. So I finished that, and then last week we decided that we were going to read the horror book The Exorcist House by Nick Roberts.
Yes.
This was your pick.
Yes.
Which we voted on.
Yes.
So we both finished it.
Yes.
Which is, we're on a roll with reading.
Fucking smashing it, to be honest.
I feel like this happens every year where I don't read all year and then October comes around.
And it's like you end the year on like fucking 21 books.
Yeah. Yeah. And they all started in October.
And they all happened in the last 21 weeks.
I feel like I would have read more if I didn't get stuck on the tandem read in January.
It kind of roadblocked you a bit, didn't it?
It did. So The Exorcist House, it's quite a short book. It's like 284 pages or something. And it's about, in the summer of 1994, psychologist Daniel Hill buys a rustic farmhouse nestled in the rolling hills of West Virginia. Along with his wife Nora and their teenage daughter Alice, the family uproots their lives in Ohio and moves south. But there's this entity that's living in the basement of the house. It's like a demonic entity. And so it's all about them like encountering this entity, and then like yeah, she's literally trying to like get in your mouth. God. No, you can back away.
Your turn. Surprise.
And it's very much like,
oh bless you, child.
It's The Conjuring essentially.
Yeah.
In a book.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think I'm the same with you. Like at the beginning, I think it's because I started reading it at night and I wasn't feeling very well to begin with. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is horrifying. I'm so scared. I was looking in like the vent of my air conditioner unit looking for eyes, and I was like, fucking try something, bitch. I'm not going to do anything because it's late at night, but fucking try something. And then every time I would go to read it while I was sick, it would trigger my stomach.
Oh.
Like it wouldn't trigger it, but like, you know, it was just like a coincidence that like I would start feeling unwell after reading it because I was trying to fucking concentrate on something. And I was just like, oh, the demon's coming out of the book and possessing me. Oh, God. It's Annabelle, but in literary form. I'm like, I can't carry on. But, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it didn't hit as good as some of the other books that I've read in the genre. Like the I can't even remember what it was called. We Used to Live Here. That's a similar premise. The one that I read in Fiji.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, with the couple.
Yeah, very very similar premise, and I feel like I enjoyed that one a little bit more.
It was a good book, right?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! It was published in 2022.
Yeah, like it wasn't. That's why when we were talking about it in the car, I was like, "What do you mean in the 90s?" It's set in the 90s.
I thought it was published in the 90s.
No.
Oh. Okay, now I have real thoughts on this then.
No, yeah.
This book, I was like thinking that it was published in the 90s, and I was like, for its time, like this would be scary.
Yeah.
Right? Like the writing now seemed quite basic, but maybe it's also because I've just read like Throne of Glass, and that's so detailed, so I'm used to something that's so detailed.
Yeah.
And I liked the concept of the story. I liked the characters. I liked what was going on. But for me, it was very surface level. It was very like, it was just a basic book. And then I was thinking, like, comparing it to Riley Sager's books. And I was like, there were moments reading both Riley books that I've read where I was like, I'm actually spooked.
Because you've read The Last One Left and In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
The middle of the night, yeah. Yeah.
And both of them had moments where I was spooked.
Yeah.
Particularly like
Middle
the
of the
first
night.
one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the only one left or whatever. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one. When the lady.
Oh, yeah, the old lady was scary.
Yeah, and I was like, what's all this crazy? Like, I was spooked, right? So then reading this, I was like, oh, I'm not spooked. Like, this, Riley is, I think it made me appreciate how talented Riley Sager is as an author in the way that he is able to write something that is, it doesn't feel it, but it is so detailed and like so well
it's
written.
atmospheric.
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this just felt, I don't know, like I could predict what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like anything new. Like,
it just played out like a horror movie, really.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Like
haunted house has been done.
Very cliche things. The haunted, like the basement.
Yeah.
The well. The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Like people being possessed. People being confused. Like
people seeing things.
It just wasn't anything crazy new. Like there wasn't really any moments where I was like, oh my God, or on the edge of my seat. I read it so quickly because it was such an easy read.
Yeah. It's an easy book to get through. And I feel like if you wanted like an entry level into horror books, and like you haven't really delved into it, you want something that's kind of like is going to scare you but isn't really like, doesn't take a lot to set the scene, get into the horror, I think this is a good one to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're more kind of like, this is your jam, you've read it before, I don't know if you'll enjoy this one as much.
I think the other thing to keep in mind as well is like we both enjoy horror as a form of like movies and TV show, and we've seen so much of it. It takes a lot to spook us. Yeah. Like it has to be really well done for us to be scared and like really unique.
Yeah, and like my thing as well is that I think I need my horror to be twisty.
Yes.
And this didn't really have that for me. Yeah.
I agree. It needs twists.
I need another layer.
Turns.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend Riley Sager. Like, cannot recommend his books enough. It did make me want to go and read another one of his books, I will say. Because it made me want to read horror, but I was like, this just isn't the one for me.
Yeah.
But what I think I'm going to read next, I have already downloaded The Husbands, that one that we spoke about the other week where the husband like goes up into the attic and then he comes back a different person. It's like a lighthearted romance one. I'm going to read that next while I'm churning away with Kingdom of Ash in the background. Mm-hmm. And then we realized this week as well that Christian White, one of our favorite authors, does the best thriller books. He's released a new book called The Ledge, but I think we might want to save that as a December book club pick.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending what people agree on, but I would love to do that as our December pick.
Yeah, agreed. Fucking love Christian White.
I know.
He is like the Riley Sager of thriller for me.
He's so, like, we went to an author talks of his last year.
Like, on a whim, like, genuinely, like, it was so random that I even saw that the library was doing it.
Dude, I realized, like, because when I realized he'd published this new book, The Ledge, I was like, fuck, maybe he's doing another author talk. So I quickly Googled it, and he did one in October.
Oh.
In Adelaide. I wish we went. Yeah, I know. I'm devo.
That's all right.
Devastated. Love it. And he's so lovely and just so
he's so relatable. He's just God bless that man, honestly.
Love Christian White and everything he does. So we will be reading The Ledge. It's just a matter of when.
One of the girls, I don't know, I think she might be a part of our book club. I'm not too sure. She read The Ledge and she loved it. She said it was awesome.
Amazing.
It was great. And I was like, this makes me want to read it. Yeah, God bless. On Fable.
He hasn't written a bad book.
No.
Has not written a bad book.
No, they've all been on the same echelon, which is crazy.
And what's even more crazy is he has a formula, but none of the books feel the same. Because they're such different stories.
Yeah. And that, like, just blows my mind how they're all, like, an equal... Like, for me, Christian White's books are comfort for me because I know that I'm gonna get something that is gonna fucking rock my world, and I'm not gonna know where it's gonna go. Because with every single book that he's dropped, every single time I try to anticipate where it's gonna go, and every fucking time I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like,
I haven't even read the synopsis for it. The synopsis is: when human remains are discovered in the forests of regional Victoria, the police are baffled, the locals are shocked, and one group of old friends start to panic. Their long-held secret is about to be uncovered. It all began in 1999 when 16-year-old Aaron ran away from home, dragging his friends into an unforeseeable chain of events that no one escaped from unscathed. In the ledge, past and present run breathlessly, tensely parallel, leading to a cliffhanger nobody will see coming. This is a mind-bending new novel from the master of unexpected.
The girl that wrote the review on Fable, she also said that like she had to go back and reread chapters.
I love that.
And yeah, that gets me so excited.
I love that.
Yeah, I love when you get to a point and you get to like a section and you're like, hang on a fucking minute, and then you have to go back and find the chapter and reread it.
Yeah, and then
you're like, yeah, you're like, the plot is plotting.
Yeah, the plot is
like,
plotting. Such a
there's
good.
no better feeling.
Love Christian White. So good. Yeah. Okay.
He can't stop writing.
No, if he stops writing, I'll buy a gun.
Like, the fact that he has to finish a book, it gets published, and then he has to be, he just has to keep going, or else
And I know that puts a lot of pressure on him personally, but unfortunately,
when you're that good, that's the sacrifice you have to make. Use
fucking Google Gemini for all I care. I don't care. Use ChatGPT, but give me a new Christian White book all the time.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to think if there are any other authors.
I really want to read Slowfoot. Still, that's on my TBR.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to read you the synopsis.
Okay.
Give me a sec. What else is on your TBR?
I don't know because I don't have my phone.
Oh.
And I can't log in on my computer. Wait, no, let me see if I can. If I can hack let me try and hack the mainframe, guys. I don't think I can.
This one is, it's a rogue one. In a colonial New England, a recently widowed outcast turns to an ancient spirit dubbed Slewfoot for help. A battle between pagan and Puritan ignites, threatening the entire village. This dark fantasy, complemented by Brom's haunting paintings, immerses readers in a bewitching world.
Interesting. I'm trying to think what else is on mine. Wait, let me log into my crummy Goodreads account. Oh, fuck, I can't.
What are people saying on?
The ledger's on there. I actually don't know. If you want to know what's on my TBR, you should just go to my Fable account.
Period.
Because I can't remember. But I think that's it. I haven't watched anything this week. I've been just reading. I'm in a real reading era.
I'm in a real colouring in on my iPad era.
At 1 a.m, might I add.
Thank you.
I literally set up yesterday. I bought new bedding, got home, put my new bedding on, lit my new candle that I bought from TK Maxx, and then went on YouTube and got like terrace and ambience thing on YouTube for Throne of Glass, and I was reading Throne of Glass in the dark while listening to medieval music essentially. And it was beautiful.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's a vibe, especially with yesterday's weather.
Yeah, yesterday was miserable because I was miserable. But now, notice how the sun's out because we're back together. Yeah, that's that pussy power.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
Anyway, we should wrap this up.
We're going to go to the Lucky Dumpling Market now.
Yeah, we're going to go frolic in the sun.
Yeah, we're going to sit and eat and watch people.
We're going to eat before 8 p.m. because then I have to fast.
Yeah.
I'm treating this like it's the last time I'll ever eat.
It might be. This might be the last sweet treat you ever have.
This is what does it. This is what gives me the diabetes.
We go hard.
Oh, dear. Okay, everyone. I hope everyone has the best week.
Except for Zach Bryan.
Yeah, fuck Zach Bryan.
Go fuck yourself and Zach Bryan's team.
Yeah, Fuck all of them. No, that pissed me off.
I've
again.
almost taken all my nail polish off, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this journey that I've taken on you with me.
And I hope everyone go get a skin check before summer.
Yes.
That's the take.
Yes.
Fuck Zach Bryan and check your skin.
Be better than me and get a health check. Yeah.
But if mine comes back bad, then I'm not advocating that because no one needs bad news.
Yeah. Not this close to Christmas now.
No, wait until next year. Okay, everyone. Have the best time and we will see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.